2 days after the Child Victims Act became law, the member of Christ the King Seminary is calling what's happening at the Buffalo Diocese alarming. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Nikki Dementri spoke with Stephen Parisi about his sudden resignation.
Why isn't anything being done here with Bishop Malone and Bishop Gross? Why isn't Rome listening?
Less than a day after sending this 6-page withdrawal letter to Buffalo Bishop Richard Malone, seminarian Stephen Parisi speaks out about why he left.
Continual cover-up by this diocese of sex abuse, abuse of power, abuse of authority, abuse of seminarians, practically hazing of seminarians.
Parisi, who was the dean of seminarians, describes an unhealthy, hostile environment at Christ the King in East Aurora since he began there in January of 2018. He says the seminary is fueled by inappropriate sexual behavior, bizarre conversations, intimidation, and alcohol.
If you don't go by what they tell you to do or suggest that you do, you're told that you can be dismissed, you're reminded you can be dismissed for any reason at any time.
The difficult year, as Parisi calls it, started last September when Father Joe Gatto was placed on leave from the seminary after 3 allegations of sexual misconduct.
People were trying to climb to the top, or who was in charge of what. There was really no clear organization chart for the seminary.
Fast forward to April, and 5 priests were reprimanded by the diocese for, quote, unsuitable, inappropriate, and insensitive conversations during what Parisi calls a pizza party, where seminarians were invited. Parisi wrote a report about the gathering and was questioned after it was leaked to 7 Eyewitness News. To this day, he says he has no idea who leaked that report, but commends whoever did.
It's a continual cover-up. The clergy of this diocese, for the priests, it is a society and a group of people that blackmail.
Another alleged incident I-Team Chief Investigator Charlie Specht uncovered last week is yet another reason why he left the seminary. Parisi says alleged sexual advances of a fellow classmate at the hands of Father Jeffrey Nowak were reported back in January to the bishop, but the priest was not suspended until the news story aired months later.
I feel that situation definitely is because of the culture of blackmail with the priests, and they are afraid that if this priest is reprimanded, he will let out what he knows about other priests.
In this letter to Bishop Malone, Parisi writes, my parents instilled in me a basic sense of faith and morals. I've come to the realization that the values and morals of the seminary and diocese do not correspond to my own. The diocese says in part, quote, it is not uncommon for a seminarian to discern to withdraw. We respect Stephen's decision and wish him well. Not only is the former seminarian calling on the bishop to resign.
We need change. We need somebody to come in and clean house. We need what the church terms as an apostolic investigation of this diocese.
But he is also asking parishioners to take action.
The only way for the church to survive is for good and honest lay people to reclaim their church. And the first step is to stop putting money in the collection basket.
And the response from the diocese did not acknowledge Parisi's allegations about the culture within the seminary. Christ the King's president said it is a rigorous program which follows the standards set by accrediting agencies. Live in studio tonight, Nikki Dementri, 7 Eyewitness News.